And welcome back. Hello everyone, Ellington here, and we are back with an epic battle replay. We have got ourselves a 4 versus 4. Now, this is a little bit special because this is a Sunday special. I don't usually have videos come out on Sundays just due to my scheduling, but unfortunately, I had a little bit of technical difficulties with the video earlier this week, and it didn't work, and a whole lot of jazz, so this is a little bit of makeup. Now, this is a 4 versus 4. This is on the settlement of Tur, and this is actually a battle from, honestly, a little while ago that was sent in by Tityrond, but I am actually in this battle as well. So real quick, we'll go over the armies and who is commanding. So for the attackers, we have Galatia being commanded by Sea Dog. We have Rome being commanded by me. Then we have Seleucid being commanded by the Bee-Man. And finally, Masacely being commanded by none other than Billy Blazes. For the defenders, we have got Swaby, one of my favorite factions, being commanded by Tityrond himself. We have got Tylus being commanded by Grey Wolf, and Kush being commanded by Mexi, and finally Epirus being commanded by Bloody. So, like I said, this is actually a battle from a few months ago. I do remember this battle enough to know that I remember the battle, but not enough to know that I remember exactly what happens in it. So, that's how I kind of like it. I will say, I said I had some technical difficulties with a previous replay. This is not the same replay, mostly due to the fact that I don't like redoing a replay directly afterwards, because then you feel like you've already done it, you kind of know what happens already, you're kind of trying to make it sound the same way as it did the first time, and it's just really weird. And so typically I will just take that replay and I'll hold on to it and do it at a later period, kind of when things have worn off a little bit. So you can see we have basically dedicated most of the attack to this breach right here. You can see leading off the most of it is myself with Hastati with some thorax swords from Seleucid. There are, landing on the other side here though, some Masacely units and some more Seleucid thorax swords, but we are being contested heavily by the defenders. A lot of Kushite slave infantry, a lot of Club Levy, things like that. You can see some Celtic warriors from Tylus behind. Now, I will tell you that I did trim off some in the beginning. There was a lot of external stuff that happened that took quite a bit of time that wasn't really very important. So I just kind of skipped it because, to be perfectly honest with you, it was really boring. So took off probably about 5 minutes off this replay. That 5 minutes included some back and forth stuff over here, some artillery play, stuff like that. Kind of typical siegemen. So, like I said, this is, the trimmed up version, taking off a little bit of that stuff that honestly was kind of boring, just to be straight with you. My Hastati in here, 105, and look at that, 113. So these are 147 and 113. There you go. So you can see we have pretty much taken this corner. With Tur, this is pretty much the standard corner attack you see. You do typically sometimes see some more that comes over here as well, but to be honest with you, you don't really see a whole lot here, and you don't typically see a whole lot here. This area here is just a very, very hard place to attack due to the angles that the defenders can get on you. But this area here is the opposite. It's very hard to defend because of the angles that the attackers can get. So that's why it typically is the most common place of attack. Think of this, if you guys remember the settlement of Bertigala. Oh, there's so much wasted. Why? Stop it. So, yeah, if you remember the settlement of Bertigala, it's a similar aspect in the way that you have this corner area where archers can get very good angles of fire onto the defensive positions. So the thing I'm interested to see here, and once again, since I don't really remember fully what happens in this battle, what I'm interested to see is I preach a lot about how Rome typically makes you play dumb. It can make you do some really stupid things that don't make a whole lot of sense, mostly because I feel like you get really overconfident about your infantry and how good it is. Sorry about that. Yeah, so and what's interesting about that is you get really, even good players when they play Rome, they kind of forget to do kind of the standard practice things that you should do with using your Pila, you know, getting good flanking positions, things like that. In Rome, you're kind of like, oh, it's Rome. I can just throw my shit in and they'll beat anything I go up against. And it doesn't really work that way. You still need to play well, and if you get a good player that plays Rome the way it should be played, they are almost unstoppable. Very, very good. Now, I'm going to take a gander. I think, even though there's really good factions on both sides, I'm pretty sure that this was a random faction pick game. Mostly due to the fact that I don't see myself picking Rome. Now, usually the way we play, if you receive Rome on the faction wheel, is we usually play it where, yes, you can take Rome if you want. Most people will criticize you for it, but usually the way we do it is, you know, you can take Rome if you want, or you can use it as a wild card to pick any faction of your choice, which I think is a really cool, really good kind of in-between. It allows you to not get penalized for receiving a faction on the faction wheel, which would be really dumb. But I also don't like taking the faction off of the faction wheel because I also think that's dumb. So I thought it was a really good compromise to say, you know what, yes, if you spin Rome, it's a wild card. Pick whatever you want. And sometimes people do pick Rome. I rarely pick Rome. And so sometimes if I get spin, sometime I'll play it because, you know, it's like if you never play a faction very often, sometimes it's fun to play it. Now this is not going to be fun for me. My Hastati here about to get wreckety-wrecked by these Armored Showtells, man. Armored Showtells are like born and bred to kill Romans, especially these kind of lower tier Hastati. Hastati is a really good unit, but Armored Showtells are going to tear them up. You can see my Syrian archers moving in. B-Man had made the decision to keep his out here just for the ability to counter things if need be, while I could come in and start shooting into the backs of defensive positions. So now on the right, Sea-Dog Galatia is taking his time. We told him to. We said, hey, you don't need to full press on your side. Let us get into the corner and we will start pushing this direction and relieve some of your some of the pressure on your side. So we told Sea-Dog as Galatia, take your time. That is one of the interesting things. Sometimes even with random factions, you do get these games where you have a lot of really good factions in the game. This is one of those games. There are some top tier factions in this game. Tylus, Rome, Mesacely is really good. Kush is extremely good. Epirus, I'm not a fan, but just because I'm not a fan doesn't mean they aren't good. So, you know, Epirus, people do really like it. Seleucid is a good faction. Seleucid, you get a little bit of everything. The Arty, man, is just ripping up the back lines. Let's see, Mesacely at 89 kills and 19 kills. Are they trying to shoot like from across? What's happening here? Oh, it's Tylus. Okay. So Tylus is shooting, and look. Kushite Royal Guard coming in from behind. Got heavy Numidian skirmishers just sitting. The unit half caught. They did get shot by some Javies from the Desert Legionaries. Heavy Numidian skirmishers look like they're going to get out of here. Lost about 9. Kushai Royal Guard General is a very good unit, very heavy melee cav. But they are getting shot up, looks like by another heavy Numidian skirmisher. Oh, and Kush isn't paying attention to it. Oh, man. Over here, you still have a club levy sitting outside just being a nuisance. So this is the hard part about this. So they have their setup here, and that means we have to advance into this position. One, we have to watch that at the same time, but what ends up happening is, especially if we don't have a pressure over here, the defenders have a really nice archer angle right into the back of that assault. And that is why Swaby here is sitting a unit here. He's basically saying he's trying to prevent any sort of, you know, possibility of bringing units this direction to put pressure on the gate. And even if he doesn't, you know, succeed in that in the end, even if he does it for a little while, it just buys time. Is that Galathracian infantry? Look at that. It's a unit you actually don't see very often. It's a good unit, but it would be a much better unit on a different faction. The only reason it's not as good on Tylus is the existence of Tribal Warriors. Tribal Warriors are so good that it almost becomes like, why would I even bring Galathracian Warriors? So you can see Galatia did go into this area. He took on the Mercenary Italian Swords, and I think there were some Illyrian levies out here. Galatian Swords, 102 kills, 122, 115. But here's some Samnite Warriors coming out. These Galatian Swords got ripped up by the archers of Epirus. Oh my lord, 199 kills. And the Cretan hasn't even fired! What? This Cretan has 62. You can see we are starting to wear down. These armored showtails are starting to take a toll on our initial assault here. This one, 99 kills and 153 kills. Do still have a Celtic warrior, but here comes my Evocati cohorts. Evocati cohort was one of my favorite units. But once again, the armored showtails kind of specialize against this thing. What we could use is like the Silver Shield sword maybe come through here, but it is giving really good shots by our archers. Throw spears. Oh, what the hell? A Bloodsworn over here. Look at this. Bloodsworn engaging the Silver Shield sword general of Seleucid, but Seleucid's throw spears, we're getting some shots into those. Masacely and the Bloodsworn just kind of looking at each other, just kind of chilling. I think I sent my general over to help kind of maybe zone out the Kushite Royal Guard. You can see we have taken the Stonehenge area here. We are advancing our troops to this spot, and then we'll probably start sending some troops over here to flank around the armored showtails. One of my Hastades dropping on the wall. Now the reason I did this is there's a armored showtail right here. So if I drop my Hastade on the wall right here, I can get right behind this armored showtail. Finish it off, 183 kills. I will accept a armored showtail only get 183 kills. I am okay with that. They're definitely able to get far more than that, so if they only get that, I'm happy. So the other armored showtail looks like it's going to fall back. Oh, a beautiful Javi there by the Silver Shield Swordsman of Seleucid here. And I think I'm trying for the same thing on my Hastade. Maybe they won't do it. So because of not, they didn't do it, I just charged back into the back of the Celtic Warriors, see if we can finish that off. It does expose me a little bit to the Royal Peltis of Epirus, but that's fine. It's fine. Ooh, good Javi toss. So the Royal Peltis, 35 kills. Got an Evocati set up behind. Now this is a little bit of a problem. Apparently, Masacely fell apart over in this spot, and now Swaby getting very aggressive. I think he saw General and Archers and he said, you know what? I want that. Bloodsworn 103 kills. You know, typically, more and more I see a lot with the with Swaby is typically a much heavier Swordmaster spam, and that's usually just due to the fact that Swordmasters actually have armor. Bloodsworn are a good unit, and I love them, love them, love them. The problem with them is they just get shot to shit. You know, if you can get them into melee combat, they will do extremely well. But if they get sneezed on, they're dead, you know, and that's the really tough part about them. I really like this move. I'm trying to look at this as, you know, as kind of impartially as I can. You know, I do try to do that with any battles, including the ones I'm in. So what I liked about, well, I guess I'm not doing it. I liked the thought of the move coming in here and getting around that unit and finishing it off quicker, but looks like we're not doing that. Never mind. Looks like we're just kind of trying to reset our positions now. Both sides, honestly. It looks like the defenders are kind of readjusting how they want to set up. And we're trying to kind of decide how we want to approach this. It looks like Masacely and Seleucid are probably going to take the left. If I remember correctly, I think I take the middle here and support the right and left. And then, of course, Galatia comes in on the right here. Epirus seems to be pulling back most of his stuff, honestly. You see Galatia moving his troops forward. Galatia is extremely healthy. Heavy Newman and Skirmishers actually going in first from Masacely here. Let's look at some of the units here. I think these are the Silver Shields. Personally, not a fan. Usually I prefer the Royal Peltas, but they do look excellent. Desert Legionaries behind. And then, as per typical, the Romans just look fantastic. Avocati cohort. Look at that Transcrest helmet. So at this point, we're just doing some cycling here. Avocati's 136 skills with double chevrons on them. Galatia now landing. Looks like mostly Galatian swords, and then my Hastati unit also here. So Seleucid has moved his archers up. And then Masacely and Seleucid double teaming a Bloodsworn there. Now for the defense, you've got Bloodsworn. All of Swaby's archers are over here. You can see there's actually a Swordmaster sitting up on the map. Or no, it's a Round Shield Swordsman, excuse me. Thought it was a Swordmaster. There's a Swordmaster. Tylus seems to be doing most of the engagements over here. He's got a Tribal Warrior ready to support that as well. Celtic Slingers up on the little half wall up here, shooting into this combat. It's not a great angle yet. What I would do is Tylus, I would let Masacely advance further into this. Good jabbies from Masacely and from Tylus there. I think they're trying to reset. Do we get a reset? Yes, we do. There we go. If you ever get a chance like that, hit the backspace button to cause your unit to halt. So let's say you, as Masacely, give a command order, and you throw your jabbies, right? And then right after that, the Celtic Warrior runs away. Hit the backspace, and then give another command order, and your unit should throw jabbies again. It just gives a reset to the command so that you can then throw them again. This is not good over here. Galatian Swords just got wrecked, man. Samnite Warriors, 98 kills. So if they wanted to, they've got an open path here to hit us in the flank. But, I mean, I guess not. Galatia's got plenty of stuff he can turn. Custodian, 11 kills. They're going up against Samnites here with 49. Then a Royal Peltis behind them. This Royal Peltis is already pretty beat up. Cretan Archers, 195 kills. Whew. Over here, you got the Empress General. There are some cav units, a couple a Noble Horse and a Noble Rider. Here we go. You can see my units going up the hill. Looks like leading off with an Avocati, 137 kills. A fresh Tribal Warrior coming in. Man, no return charge. That's a bad move on my part. You definitely want to get that counter. In Rome 2, charging is, like counter-charging is just so important. If you are caught flat-footed, excuse me, it's going to mess you up really bad. And it doesn't really matter whether a unit has really high charge bonus or not. It's just that units that do have high charge bonus are just going to do more damage. Even units with high charge bonus, if they catch you flat-footed and you don't countercharge, they will do damage to you. Unless, I mean, that's, you know, not including situations where you have things with like expert charge defense. That is different. But other than that, that's pretty much the only situation that you should not be countercharging, is with like a hoplite that has counter cavalry or counter expert charge defense, excuse me. I'm like, expert charge defense and counter cavalry tactics were blending into one thing in my brain, and it wasn't, no, it's not correct. I'm a little surprised that we aren't seeing more archer support from Galatia. I mean, his archers are pretty much set up in a perfect position to do some really good flanking shots into those Samnite Warriors, and they're not. Little surprised by that, but, you know, it's okay. Now I got two Avocatis up here going up against the Tribal Warrior. I think they're both, well, it's pretty much, if you add them together, pretty much the sum of one whole unit there. Tribal's up to 81 kills. That's a good screenshot right there. Now this could be a problem. Swaby now has his Swordmaster set up. What I probably would suggest if I was Swaby is I would go like column right here while the Tribal is still in combat, and then use the Swordmasters to jabby into the sides there. And then once you're out of jabbies, then switch those units out. See Masacely pushing more over on the flank here by the gate. They do have a round shield swordsman, but all of Swaby's archers are over here. Now, if they break through that, they do get a way in to this area here. Oh, here we go. So my Syrian archers now set up to get rid of the Celtic slingers. Anytime you get these things where you have these like wall situations with archers or slingers up on them, they're shooting down, try and find a side angle to them over here. I call it walking them off of the walls, because it means that you can kind of advance, shoot. You know, advance, shoot. Advance, shoot. And you can kind of walk these units off of those walls there. Galatia is pretty much fully into the settlement now. He does have some units out here still, but mostly, it looks like about half of his army is now in the settlement. Same thing, though. What I would do is, you know, you can see Epirus is doing it. See, he's got a unit holding this down, and he's got that Royal Peltis right off to the flank shooting into Galatia. So Glacier should do the same thing. He should go in, or he should honestly just send in a unit right here to shut that up. That's probably what I would do. They do have another Royal Peltis set up in a pretty good position there. They need to be careful, though, because this is getting pretty weak. Over here, Glacial Legionary 65 kills. Sam Knight 79 and 131. And then if there's another, wait, are they both at, look at that. Both the Glacial Legionnaires are at like 60-something kills. Fire arrows coming in. Swordmasters, 114 kills. They are doing very well. Koshite Archers, getting, you know, it's not the best position. Usually the better position is if you're kind of like shooting here. But Kush is still getting a good shot there. But we are also as well, so you can see I've got one of my archers over here shooting over into the Swordmasters. So kind of I would say my position, honestly, is probably a little better. Now what we need to do here, we need to clear out this position. You can see we're trying to set up archers in this spot, and yet we have a lot of infantry here. We really need to clear that up so archers can be used effectively. So we ended up actually losing that fight there, it looks like. Sam Knight was 158, then the Royal Peltis at 55, and has only lost 12 men. Nice shot there from the Cretans of Epirus. They actually have a pretty good position there, shooting into Galatia. 91 kills and 18 on this one. And I think it looks like Galatia's trying to get a shot into those, and he should. He definitely has range. The question obviously is, does he have the angle? I don't really understand shooting into that. You're shooting right into their shields. It's probably not worth it. You can see Masacely engaging Tylus over here. Tribal warriors have come down off of their high perch. But they are getting double teamed by Desert Legionaries. I mean, he could send this one out as well, but actually getting pretty good jabbies there. See that? Oh, that's it. That's a screenshot, man. Look at that. There we go. That was beautiful. You can see more and more coming up now. Epirus does have Mercenary Indian war elephants. Seleucid also has elephants, Mercenary Syrian armored elephants. I believe those are the cheaper ones that are like just as good, but like, I don't know, I think it's like 50 gold cheaper or something like that. I don't remember. I don't use elephants very often. I find them very high risk, and I don't know. It's just not my thing. Here we go, Goat Path. Silver Shield Swordsman coming up the Goat Path now. I'm actually like surrounding this Swordmaster. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. I mean, it could be maybe I got around him. I'm not sure. Swordmaster, 139 kills. Really, really not bad at all. The Silver Shield, yep, they're still coming up. So we have made some progress. You can see where most of the fighting has happened right in this spot. Over here, most of the fighting has taken place right in there. Honestly, Epirus is getting really, really good kills over here. These Glacial Legionaries are not getting near their worth at this point. And it's really all due to the archer fire. My gen went in. I think I was just going to give, yeah, what did I do? Battle Rhythm? Yep. So once again, kind of double teaming this tribal warrior. Got an armored Shotel, you know, going back up. Looks like maybe he's going to go in now. Good cycle there from the tribals and the armored Shotels. This Armored Shotel is fresh, 160 men. Now, I don't know what happened here, but Galatia actually has Epirus's general surrounded. I think Kush should come in here and help finish that off. If that Armored Shotel went in, the Galatians would be screwed. Galatia actually sent some Galatian swords up here. Silver shields are still up here as well. Avocado cohort, fresh, and the weaker one is exhausted. Only 90 kills. 90 kills in one chevron. Means that the 90 kills they got were good kills. Armored Shotel's up to 73. Just getting kind of some scenic stuff here. Now the tribal over here is pretty much surrounded. You've got, or no it's not, sorry. I had it backwards. Thorax Sword with 169 kills. Tribal Warrior at 165. Ooh, here we go. Bloodsworn's actually tried. Looks like they tried to get a little sneaky over here. Looks like they might have caught these two depleted cohorts and legionaries. Might have caught them sleeping. So look at this. Seleucid actually moving up his Syrian armored elephants already. The only thing that really worries me, and I think this is why he's pulling back there, is those Kushite archers. Pretty sure that they can hit that with flame shot from that position, and I don't think they were visible until this point, and so that's when Seleucid was like, never mind. Hold up, wait a minute. So I want to hear, so a couple weeks ago we did, I asked everybody in the comments to put where they are from. I just want, I'm always curious to see where my viewers are coming from. It's really cool to see from all over the world where you guys are coming from. I want to know, I want you guys in the comment section today, tell me what is your favorite faction in Total War Rome 2. Let's hear it. I will start off. My favorite faction in Total War Rome 2 is Lusitani. So let's hear it from you guys. I'm really curious to see the breadth of the factions. I mean, what are there? 35 factions, if I remember correctly, in Grand Campaign at least. And so I'm curious to see, what do you guys think? Lusitani's my favorite. Rome here has been fun. I do find sometimes I think Rome can be a little boring. In a way, I do think it can be. But when you play it every once in a while, it is kind of fun. Just as something you're like, man, I haven't done this in a while, Bloodsworn 63 kills now. Looks like this is a different Thorax now, but I believe it's the same tribal. 32 men left in the Tribal Warrior, 221 kills. Now I got a question for you guys. Let me know this in the comment section. Do you prefer thumbnails of stuff like this, or do you prefer thumbnails of of some of the screenshots I've got before of the in combat type pictures? I'm curious. Is something like the one I just did is a little bit more scenic, I would say, a little more. I can't even think of the word of it now. But the combat, I think is kind of cool to see. But I'm curious as to what you guys think.
Swordmaster coming back in. Now what we need is we kind of need to have a unit go here and a unit to go here.
I think that's what we're trying to do. I think my units are going left, and I think Masacely's trying to go off to the right.
Over on this side, we have kind of slowed our attack. We have stopped putting a lot of pressure here, mostly due to we've taken a lot of losses on this side. Epirus has played extremely well in holding this area. We are keeping troops over here to kind of keep it honest, if that makes sense, you know, to make sure that they continue to watch this area. Ooh, here we go. Look right off in the center. Mercenary Syrian, armored elephants going in. He's popped trample, going into the tribal warriors. Tribal warriors, no shield wall. Only one kill. And they're out of control. So they are doing damage. At the moment, them being out of control is okay. They can go either way here. They could go this way. They could go this way. So Lucan should probably GTFO. Oh no! Run! Run away! Run, run, run away! Alright, they're 49 kills. I don't know where they're going to go. But Seleucid should really run away. What I'm really surprised about is why Seleucid didn't use his archers to kind of force these away. He could win that fight. Oh, God. Oh, no. Is no bueno. On the hilltop, we are still fighting. Silver Shields, look at that. It's 178 kills. Desert Legionary is 71. Oh, he had to kill him. Oh, man. He had to kill him, otherwise he was going to lose his gen. That's... The hardest part about that isn't the friendly fire. The hardest part about that is the 2,000 gold that was spent on a unit for 50 kills. You know, that is the toughest part, and that's why you will very rarely see me bring elephants. One, I very rarely play factions that have elephants, and number two, I just find them way too high risk. If they work, they can do very well, but man, it's just very rarely. This is my thought on it. Typically, when you see elephants do well, okay, it is usually, I'm not saying never, but it is usually, or I'm not saying it's always this way, but it is usually this way. It is usually not due to the person with the elephants doing something really, really crazy good. It is usually due to, oh no, the noble riders and, oh God. What I was saying, it is usually more due to the other player not executing it properly in defending against them, if that makes sense. In trying to get Javies, using fire arrows to make them go berserk, things like that. Those are the things you should be doing to counteract elephants. If you don't do those things, they're dead. I mean, like they're going to get a ton of kills on you. But if you do, then you should be fine. So that is what I tend to find, is that usually if elephants get a ton of kills and do really, 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 really well, it's usually because the enemy didn't do a very good job of countering them, and that's unfortunate. Disciples of Epetimac actually coming out of the center of the settlement and now charging down into the Galatian noblemen. Now, I believe Galatian noblemen, I believe they have expert charge. No, they don't. Looking at them. Yeah, no, they don't. Yes, they do. Yep, it's right there next to cavalry counter tactics. That's good. That's what you want against the Disciples of Epetimac. Look at them, 60 charge bonus, okay? You want expert charge defense. Over here, Noble Riders and Armored Numidian Riders going at it. Pretty even. Well, it looks like the Noble Riders are losing, but so far, like, kills-wise, it's a pretty even fight. We have re-engaged over on the right. Armored Cho'Tel's 158 kills, going out against two very fresh Galatian Legionaries. I think the Galatian Legionary, I think Galatia was trying to kind of lead them, and yep, he did it. Look at that. He used one unit to lead the Armored Cho'Tel while he took the other unit and went around it. And then he had a third unit to engage on the reinforcement. Now, looky here, Epirus, mercenary Indian war elephants advancing down the hill. We are pretty much, wait, what? The Sacely lost, oh, it's probably because the Cimbri bowwomen. This is really bad, actually. Look at this. Oh my gosh, Seleucid still has ammunition on his, what? You can see Galatia's Noble Riders urgently coming over trying to cut off the Noble Rider, or Noble Horse going to cut off the Noble Riders. Now because of the elephants, you can see we disengaged there. We were able to get fire shots onto them. It didn't make them berserk, but it did make them run away, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Armored Cho'Tel's 206, but they are getting shot up. So you can see we actually have quite a few archers on this side. We brought them over because of this. I'm really not sure how the Noble Rider is still getting into the archers. I did see earlier that one of the Syrians was like 94 men and broke. Mostly due to the fact that Seleucid's general is dead. D-E-D, dead. Galatian noblemen actually doing pretty well. Now the Armored Cho'Tels are probably going to put a stop to that. Armored Cho'Tel's 174. Look at this. There you go. Noble Horse Galatia getting around. Oh, yeah. Well done. The push up at the top of the hill is getting a bit thin. Got an Eagle cohort in. And now my Praetorian Guard going in. And I know, Iron Duke, if you're watching, I know you're going to criticize me about my army because I've got Praetorian Guard and Evocati cohort and Hastati. I don't care. Some people are like that. Some people, when they play Rome, they try to be very, like, historical with it, where they play either a pre-Marian or an imperial army, and I don't do that. I don't know. It's just, for me, it's just the game. You know, having fun with it. I'm not too worried about being super historically accurate on, because, I don't know. I think people are different on how they played, and that's okay. Get a little bit of lag there. I don't know why. Sometimes I just find that happens. Cannot believe Seleucid still had ammunition, man. Praetorian Guard, 9 kills. They've lost 10. Okay, so Epirus' elephant's still back here. Honestly, losing some of the gens, so Mesacles' gen and Seleucid's gen, I think is really been painful here. Armored Cho'Tel, 111 men still, 167 kills, 231 kills with 2 chevrons. They're doing very well. Praetorian Guard. I mean, what is Mesacles? So, Glacial Legionaries, 1, 2, 3 Glacial Legionaries, but God, look how many archers still. Evocati cohort about to break with only 117. It's okay. Really, the problem here has been getting shot in the back all game. The problem that we have is it's really hard to counter this position over here. There's just not a whole lot of archer positions to shoot. You have this hill, but sometimes it just doesn't work very well. Indian elephants coming down the hill again. So we see it. my archers moving back around. I believe the Seleucid archers, I think, are out of ammo. Yeah. Whoops. And the Assyrians for Galatia do still have ammo, but they're on the wrong side of the settlement. My general charging over, trying to end these Cimbri bowwomen. I don't know that it's going to work. Maybe if the Roman general was a full 80-man unit, it might. It's one thing I don't like is that the Roman general's only 15 or 40, same thing as the Carthaginian. So Epirus stopped because he saw our archers come in, but looks like he's might be committing. Praetorian Guard, 65 kills now. We do have some archer fire coming from our side, trying to support that. My Eagle cohort trying to hold back a couple of tribal warriors. There they are, Indian elephants. Fire arrows in on them. They are out of control, but it looks like Epirus is going to get lucky here. That's just... I'll tell you what, that never happens for me. Anytime my elephants ever go to control, they go right back, you know, into my own stuff. They never charge right into anything, and that kind of grinds my gears a little bit. He's not getting a ton of kills here. Like, he is getting some. But one thing, Galatia should have gone shield wall, and he didn't. That's a big boo-boo. And we do, so the Numidian skirmishers actually still have ammo, so that's good. Oh, and here's Tylus's general coming into our archers. Well, I'm pretty sure that's GG. There's the kills. I mean, it's kind of trash time kills. It's kind of like in football when, you know, one team is up by a ton of points, and you know they bring in like their second stringers and stuff, and then the other team scores a bunch of points in the last couple minutes of the game. The trash time points. Yeah, that's basically how that was. All right, so starting off with the defenders, we've got Titirond as Swaby with 2,058 kills, coming in second place on his team. Might even be second. No, that'd be third place in the whole game. Swordmaster's 226 is pretty darn good. 172 is pretty good as well. 58, but very, very healthy. Look at the Cimbri bowwomen, 234, 206. Bloodsworn, unfortunately, that's kind of the risk of them, is sometimes they don't get a whole lot of kills. 107, 124. Bloody as Epirus with 1980. The elephant ended at 230, 165 on the gen. 230 on the standard archers is really good. 195 on the Cretans. 149 on the Royal Peltas. Royal Peltas probably could have done a little better. Mexi as Kush with 1725. Armored Showtails 212, 231, 213, 184. Very, very well done there. Archers did not do great. Grey Wolf as Tylus with 2,323 kills. Very, very well done. His Tribal Warriors really carrying the day, 165, 225. So very, very well done there. Galathracian Warriors, 164. Now for the attackers, we have myself as Rome with 2,021 kills, second place on my team. Archers did pretty well, 148, 133. I'm happy with that. Praetorian Guard for the situation they were in, 122 kills, not too shabby. Most of my infantry, you know, did solid enough. There's definitely some that I really wish could have done better, but man, getting shot in my back there was very, very painful. I probably shouldn't have kept doing that. 138, 134 on the study, 198 on that one. B-Man at Seleucid with 1991, 241, 184 is the Silver Shield Swordsman. The Syrian Armored Elephant, not fantastic, unfortunately, but I mean, that is the risk of the elephants. B-Man is a very, very good Rome player, so, you know, even he can't make them work all the time. Sea-Dog with 1306. Unfortunately, by the time he went in, a lot of us were already dead, and it really just caused him to get overpowered. It happens. Shit, you know, you kind of go on. Billy Blazes leading off the attackers with 2,154 kills. 144 on the Heavy Numidian Skirmishers. Desert Cohorts 214, 190. Then the Legionaries 182, 134, 138. Well, that is going to be it. Thank you guys so much for joining. You probably recognize most of the names in this battle. That's honestly because these are typically names that are in the Discord that we play with a lot. If you want to get involved in these games, or if you want to, post replays, things like that, get in the Discord. There's a link to it in the description. Get in the Discord, get in games with us, make sure that there's a channel to put get the game tags so that when people want to play games, you get tagged for it. That's how you get in these games. That's how you get in, replays and things like that. So make sure you do that. Don't forget also that if you want a better chance of getting your replays done, honestly, the best chance is becoming a Patreon member or a YouTube member. Those guys typically get the highest priority for obvious reasons. They also tend to get early access to videos. The Patreon link is in the description, and if you want to become a YouTube member, just go to my channel, hit that join button. It's $1.99, $4.99, or $9.99, just depending on how much you want to, put forward to supporting the channel. But thank you guys so much for joining, and thank you so much for your support. We are going on, I think we're going to be 2 years in October. I can't even believe it. We're almost 3,500 subs, and I cannot thank you guys enough for your support. And we will see you guys next time.